My name's Aaron. I was born into the reservation in El Paso, Isleta de Sur Pueblo, and my ancestors came from Isleta Pueblo, which is outside of Albuquerque. Well, I lived on the reservation up until I was 17 years old. That's when we were removed from the reservation, so I was there for 17 years. In 1994, they opened up a casino, and at that time, about a year later, is when they forcibly removed about 200 families, which mine was one of them. My grandfather actually spent the next couple of years trying to find some sort of proof, that we were Native, and come to find out that my great-grandmother was full-blooded Isleta Pueblo. Sadly, before he found anything out or he could, get any paperwork or proof, he passed away. My family just almost like gave up trying to find proof that we were, Indian. It was about that time, I was in Albuquerque. I was there at Gathering of Nations, and I met a man by the name of Robert. And come to find out that he was the head medicine man of the Hickory Apache tribe. We became really good friends. And I remember at one point he asked my mom, kind of asked her like permission if it was okay with her if he could show me his people's ways. I mean, I was really interested in that because I wanted to find out where I came from, or like find kind of meaning in life or why I was here, because I always knew I wanted to help people. At about that time is when Robert started showing me his ways on how they heal people, because I wanted to learn both aspects of how to help people, medically, spiritually, and Robert is the one that guided me into that role of helping people spiritually. I mean, sadly, I lost Robert last July, and before that, I was introduced to his cousin Joey, which is the head medicine man of the White Mountain Apache tribe in Mescalero, New Mexico. And he kind of picked up where Robert left off as far as showing me different ways, showing me healing songs, explaining what our drums meant, how to heal people spiritually. And to this day, I talk to him regularly on a regular basis, and so he's been a big influence on my life as well. One time I had a fistula on the top of my head, and I was supposed to get surgery for it. And I came to see him, and he had me, there's some kind of herb that's like a red paste, and he had me put it on my temples and on my forehead, and he gave me a tea. And about, let's say, like 2 or 3 weeks after I started all of that, I went back to the neurologist and they did another MRI of my brain. And when he walked in, he looked like really confused. He had the paperwork with him, and he's like, "Mr. Ortiz, I don't know what you did within these past couple of weeks, but that fistula is gone. What did you do? What were you doing?" But I didn't tell him what I did, because like doctors like that, if you tell them like what you're doing, going like, "Oh, I put a paint on my forehead and a paint on my temples," they're gonna think I'm crazy. But it went away. And then out here, there's a plant called purple sage, and that purple sage is the only place that it does grow is here in White Sands, New Mexico. And that herb we use for we mix it with our tobacco, and we use that in ceremony, or we use it in prayer. Mainly when we're doing ceremony for the sick is when we use that purple sage in the tobacco. Oh, usually when I come out and see Joy, it's almost like when I need like a spiritual rejuvenation, like when I feel I'm just like, a little bit bit tired or overrun with work and school or just life in general. Like I usually just feel like I need to come up here and get a blessing from Joey, and then just come out here and get recentered. It's one of the main reasons I come out here.
The 18th century came around, and that's when we start fighting the United States cavalry now. So because the South had lost the Civil War, the Confederate War, so what happened is that with that is that all the soldiers that were over there and lost, they started coming this way toward the west, toward California, and that way. They were wanting land. So Ulysses S. Grant, he was the president then, he started giving land grants out. So they started coming this way and taking our land away from us. Our reservation used to be bigger. And then they started taking our land away. So we ended up with 460,000 acres. That's what we live on right now. That's what our reservation is. It's one of the prettiest reservations in New Mexico. I look at it that way. I've been to a lot of reservations in New Mexico, and nothing compares to ours. So, you know.
All big and bad.
Yeah.
I honestly think that, I mean, it changed me for the better because in my younger years, like all the things that I was, involved in, and I'm just lucky to be able to be here today to talk about all this. Because honestly, if I had not found that part of myself, I would probably be either dead or in prison. So this in itself is a blessing to be able to like be sitting here and talking about it, because I never thought I would have had that opportunity to. And I'm just really grateful for Joey and for Robert, because they were like the main influences in my life to be able to absorb all that knowledge and the history where all of this came from. So that really helped me mold me into the person that I am today.